Triple Jump League.
What is up? My name is Jake Thompson. I'm going to be your host for the Jumpers League weekly update. This is week one of the competition, and we've got some very exciting jumps to get into. If you're new to what this league is, it is a triple jump competition in which week to week athletes compete to see who has the highest mark, and they get points based on how far they jump. All right, so hopping into our first jumper of the day, we've got Jump Professor's very own Jay. All right, he's coming in with a 14.48 meter jump, 47'6". You can see that he really maintains that speed well, coming down the runway fast, and there's a lot that he's going to be able to really build on in the coming weeks. I'm expecting him to make very solid and steady progression throughout this season as he gets comfortable, really sending it down the runway, bringing in more speed and attacking the ground. He's going to progress very, very, very nicely. Now, the next person on our list is going to be coming out of the Florida State University, and he's going to be the first person to break the 15-meter barrier with a jump of exactly 15 meters. This is Laquan Ellis. Very long legs, very long and rangy athlete. That's going to allow him to really move through those phases well without having the need to really lift the knee and attack the ground. But as he gets more comfortable doing that, he's going to be able to go out even further. But you can really see the stellar foot placement here, really attacking the ground right under his hips, which is going to reduce that braking, and you can see that he just carries the speed all the way through the jump. Massive jump phase, great landing, great speed, a lot of things that I'm liking from this jump. He's going to be able to go out very far this season as well. Moving on to the next jumper on our list. Coming out of the University of Louisville, we've got Miller Jones. Now, this guy is quite the outdoorsman. Very impressive skier. But what I think he does a little bit better is the triple jump. Now, he's going to absolutely send it down this runway, attacks the ground viciously. I mean, look at how he cycles that leg just straight into the ground, producing a lot of power, force, and maintaining that speed well. He's going to be the first person to break the 50 feet barrier on our list with a jump of 50'4". Very impressive jump. I'm going to be excited to see how he progresses this season. A lot of really great things. I think he could even still send it even more down the runway in those last couple steps. You'll see that he starts to maybe chop his strides a little bit. If he can really keep that speed maintained all the way through his approach, I think that he could squeeze out feet and meters. Now, coming in the number 2 spot on our list, I don't know what they're putting in the water down there at Florida State University, but whatever they're doing, it seems to be working. They know what they're doing whenever it comes to jumps. And that's because Kyvon is the second person on our list, coming in with a jump of 15.89 meters, 52'1". Wow. I mean, just look at this approach. He generates so much speed and then just floats all the way through the jump with a perfect landing. Now, this is a great jump, exactly what you'd like to see from a high-level jumper. Now, it looks like he still has some space left on that runway, so I'm expecting him to go out even further this season as he starts to lengthen out that approach. Very impressive jump phase. I really love to see how he maintains his speed and really attacks the ground. Very impressive. Now, moving on to the next jumper on our list, we've got the number 1 spot, Jump Professor's very own Sterling Scott. He's coming in with a jump of 16.28 meters, 53'5". Very impressive from the Mizzou athlete. And you can see that he's really sending the speed, and he gets a lot of height on that hop phase. That height with that speed is really going to allow him to lengthen out his phases and be able to go out to that impressive 16 meter. He's going to be the first person this year to break 16 meters in our competition. Very impressive. I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do this season. Now, it looks like he even has more left in the tank. As you'll see coming out of this hop landing, he has an element of forward rotation, which is going to mean that he's not in the greatest position to get that lift coming on that hop or that step landing. I'm expecting that he has inches, if not feet, left in him just from that simple change. But he's going to have to be able to control that massive hop phase, be able to not allow his body to rotate forward so that he's really able to hit the ground, put force in the right direction, and carry his speed all the way through and get some massive lift as he does so well in that hop phase. Now we're going to move over and ask him some questions, his thoughts on his season opener and how his season is going to go this year. All right, I am here with the top jumper from this week, Sterling Scott. Just going to ask him a couple questions, get his thoughts on his jump from this week. So, your jump this week was incredible. What was your thought process leading into the jump? What was going through your mind on the runway?
First of all, I had never taken a jump from, or I haven't taken a jump from 16 steps, so it was kind of a new learning experience, I guess, in terms of the rhythm. But I was definitely looking forward to hitting my 16-meter mark, which is the goal I set for myself that day. The first jump was kind of rough. Obviously, it's the first jump I've taken on 16, but then after the second, third jump, I started getting a rhythm for it. So I appreciate my ability to learn how to adjust a lot right now.
Yeah. So 16 steps is a pretty long approach for this early in the season. Have you been working on shorter approaches in the preseason?
We only take short approach jumps. We never really take anything over 10. That's like the longest I think I've ever been on in practice. So definitely a bit of a switch from practice to the meets, but I think my goal is to learn how to jump with speed, not necessarily just jump with good technique, because my technique is probably going to be iffy regardless if I'm going for it. So I might as well just have the speed behind it anyway.
That's the truth. Sometimes it's hard to like really be controlled whenever you're going that fast. Do you think
Yeah.
that the speed this week really made a difference for you?
I think it absolutely did. It's pretty frustrating in practice when I'm coming from 8 steps and I'm trying to jump as far as I can. But I'm not one of those jumpers that can jump 16 meters from 5 steps. I need some speed behind it. So I think
Yeah.
it mentally it gives me a boost to go into the next meet, the next competition, with some confidence, knowing that I have the speed behind me and there will be a good distance with the jump rather than like the short approach jumps.
Yeah, I mean, you said that your goal was 16 meters and you hit 16:28. I mean, that's a pretty good start to the season. How do you feel about it?
I feel great, but I do know that I left a lot out there and can't wait to get back at it because 16:28 is a centimeter under my overall PR. So
Whoa,
I
so you
was
opened up with almost a PR.
basically, yeah, yeah.
All right, okay. Centimeter under the PR. So that's pretty insane. You're probably going to go pretty far this year then. What do you think set your performance apart this week? Like you said it was the speed, but did you do anything different in terms of like your preparation or, anything like that?
To be quite honest with you, I have not changed a single thing since like the previous year, and I think that's kind of what makes this jump kind of special. After my sixth attempt in Lima in finals, where I jumped 16:09, I literally could not wait to get back on the track to take another attempt. I knew I left so much out there, and I have so much more to prove. So it felt great actually coming back and like, just going for it first jump and just trying to learn it. And I feel like with the amount of work that I put in this off season, this isn't really a surprise to me. It's more of like I could have been doing the exact same thing I'm doing now last year, but everything happens for a reason. It's God's plan. It's not when I want it to be done. It's when He wants it to be done.
That's the truth. Everything comes at the right time. Yeah, I mean, it's that feeling of you take one jump and you're not satisfied with it. You know you want more, so you just keep going. But eventually you got to stop yourself because you're like, okay,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
this is kind of getting out of hand. This off season, you said you were putting in a lot of work. So what have you been focusing on this preseason?
The biggest shift from my previous years of track to now is definitely volume and efficiency. Obviously, most high school jumpers aren't going to be able to, you know, get through the large volume workouts. It's pretty difficult, and my freshman year of college, I did not get through a single one of them, honestly. I just couldn't work out. So definitely was hitting the weights this off season. I had some really big PRs in almost every single lift that we do. And I'm a lot more efficient at practice. I take a lot of jumps, but it's not necessarily like, just regular jumps. I'm going for every single jump, and I think that's what really helps me in the long. It's going to help me in the long run. I'm going to get used to putting everything out there, every single jump, and then I'm going to be able to go for it at the meets because of that. Practice how you compete.
Yeah. It's not necessarily wasted reps. It's more like very hyper-focused, high-quality
Yes,
reps.
yes.
Yeah, that's really important. So whenever you're talking about high volume training, are you talking about like high volume sprinting, bounding, weight room work? What does that look like?
So as far as sprints go, we don't really do like a lot of high vol compared to like what a lot of other people would do. High volume for us would be like 6 200s. Like that's probably the biggest workout that we have sprint wise. And it's pretty easy. I mean, I've gotten just so much stronger from the previous season that it's really translated a lot into the track. So the sprint workouts aren't too hard. The bounding workouts is where it is. We're at the beginning of the season, we were in the sand. We have like a sand volleyball pit, so we're in there for about an hour a day, and it's just a lot of bounding. Everything in the sand feels like plyometrics, like even just walking. So a lot of that, and then we went onto the track, and I was taking like 6 to 8 jumps, and then doing like triple jump drills after the jumps, and then after that we do like full field bound, and you will feel it the next day. I assure you
Yeah.
that
Oh
you will feel
yeah.
it the next day.
Yeah, going those 100 yards, I mean, like
Yeah.
that's a lot of landings. So yeah, it's great talking with you, getting your thoughts on your jumps this week. You have a competition next week?
I won't be competing next week. I'll probably start back the beginning of February, like February 1st. I'm still planning on having 5 competitions, obviously for the league and stuff, but there's no reason to compete a lot. It's a home meet, so I'll be here. Yeah.
Makes sense. All right, well, it was great talking to you. Hope you have a good day.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's all that we have for this week. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen in the coming weeks as more colleges and more athletes start entering into the competition. There's going to be some big jumps this year, massive PRs, massive records. We'll be back every week giving you the best media coverage of these jumpers that anyone has to offer, changing the media game in the track and field landscape. Now, if you don't want to miss a week, hit the subscribe button down below so that you can be notified of our future uploads. If you like the video, hit the like button and leave a comment letting us know who you think is going to win this competition and who's going to be the top jumper next week. I'll be here next week for week 2 of the competition, giving you the latest updates on the Triple Jump League. Very excited to see what's going to happen this season. I'll see y'all next time. Woo! Cut that out.